Hello viewers and welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust TV, the program which we pick a very major topic where we dissect it with the right people at the right time. The order by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetokun, countering the recent directive of the Police Service Commission to officers who have attained 35 years in service or 60 years of age to proceed on retirement, has deepened the crack in the force over who is right or wrong, with some senior officers expressing reservations. Meanwhile, the public relations officer of the commission, Mr. Ikechukwu Ani, has said that the IGP's comment for the officers to wait for further directive does not mean that he rejected the commission's decision. The Police Service Commission recently directed officers who have attained 35 years in service or 60 years of age to immediately proceed on retirement from the force. A wireless message from the Office of the First Secretary dated February 5, 2025 directed all officers affected by the Police Service Commission's directive to stay action pending further directive. Recall that last week the Police Service Commission spokesperson, Ani, said the Commission's order followed a review of its earlier stance at the 24th plenary meeting in September 2017. Allowing force entrants to use their date of enlistment instead of their initial appointment date. The Commission cited the inconsistency with Public Service Rule number 020908 1 and 2, which mandates retirement upon spending 35 years in service or reaching 60 years of age as reasons for its decision. The Police Service Commission, however, clarified that it lacks the constitutional authority to determine the appointment or retirement of the current IGP Kayode Ebetokun. And on Sunday Politics tonight, we hope to get clearer picture of the controversy as well as the positive and negative impact of extending the tenure of some officers. We have in the studio a former Assistant Inspector General of Police, Wilson Inalegwu. He's the one who will help us dissect this. Welcome to the program.
Thanks. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
We gave you a very short notice, and of course you...
Yeah, what can I do?
We believe you are eminently qualified to talk on this topic.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes, but before the
me.
conversation, here are some stories that have attracted attention today. An Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP Shepi Ubawa, attached to 61 Police Mobile Force, Kontagora, headquarters of Kontagora Local Government of Niger State, has reportedly committed suicide. A police officer told Daily Trust that the deceased allegedly committed suicide on Saturday afternoon. The officer's lifeless body was discovered hanging from the ceiling of his room. Sources said his father, Malam Usman Bawa, first raised the alarm and reported the matter at the Kontagora Police Division. The spokesperson for the Niger State Police Command, SP Wasiu Abiodun, confirmed the incident. He said the body was removed are released to the family for burial, adding that the incident is under investigation to ascertain the reason for Shefiu's action. Very sad. And then in the political scene, barely a week after the National Assembly approved his dismissal, former resident electoral commissioner INEC in Adamawa State, Barrister Hudu Ari, has insisted that the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the 2023 general election in the state, Senator Aisha Dahiru Binani, won the poll. Ari was suspended after he declared Binani as the winner of the election while coalition was ongoing. But he insisted he had documentary evidence that Binani defeated incumbent Governor Ahmadu Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party. He made the revelation in a chat with journalists at his residence in Bauchi. Ari said he took the decision in good faith with journalists at his residence, of course, and he said he believed in what he said. Holding a copy of the Quran while speaking to journalists, he said that there was pressure on him and other officials of the commission to declare the incumbent governor winner of the election or his security could not be guaranteed. Ari alleged that both the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and the Electoral Tribunal dismisses all his evidence against the irregularities in the controversial governorship election. Where do we start? Maybe we start with the lighter one before, so that that's Shafiu's case. We can subsume it into our today's conversation.
Yeah, you see, the young officer who committed suicide.
Exactly. So you saw the drama in Bauchi holding Quran. The Nigerians are fixated. You see Christians holding the Bible, Muslims holding the Quran, just to curry favors and all that. Now this Ali said he swore by God that it was Binani that won the election. Even though you are not a politician,
I'm not a politician. Most people were following those developments on television, and I think it was unusual for REC to announce a result, because for every state there is a returning officer, and the way it kind of sneaked in and in a surreptitious manner. So a lot of people were taken aback. If he had, there was a returning officer who had a responsibility to handle the result. And everything has a process. You could do the right thing if you in your heart, but if you do not follow the process, and I think with his age and experience, and I think to be appointed as REC, you should know the terms of reference for that position. So
I think it appears as there is a kind of desperation maybe on his side to...
Yeah, because if you even watch his face when he got to television that day, it showed a lot of... Something was not just right.
Yeah.
And even if he had a good case, as he's claiming now, of course nobody wants...
Holding the Quran.
Yeah, well...
You know, in Islam, it's a big... it's like a covenant with God to say that anything can happen to you if you are telling lies. But maybe he ought to have waited, right?
The sacred things that are sacred should be treated as sacred. I mean, you don't bring such to political domain. I mean, you should have bring your point and bring them out. If you sound convincing, there are relevant laws. You say, okay, as REC, I can make the announcement, and this is why I did it. You don't need to begin to swear. As a police officer, I work by evidence. So
no matter what somebody picks,
it doesn't matter you go God or whatever.
It's evidence.
The evidence is there. What is your schedule? How was the result collation? Did it end at the time? Because from what we had from the press report, some local government results were yet to be received, and if they had not been received conclusively, I think there's that procedure. So if you go out of it, you've committed, you've breached your employment terms, and it could attract consequences. So it doesn't matter whether you go. The point is, and I think the matter must have been investigated internally, and then because this dismissing him must have arisen from internal disciplinary procedure.
They will not just do it.
I don't think we are not in a military era where Decree 18 or whatever services no longer required. And I think in this way there will be procedure. You will be invited, to put up your defense. But I know that it can be traumatic to have such an experience for the old man.
But AIG, assuming he didn't jump the gun, let me use your language, he kept his documents, everything. And then by the time the presiding officer or whoever is saddled with the responsibility of announcing the final results, he did that, and now who do, pick his own and then tender it as evidence, maybe at the commission's headquarters. Do you think he will be in this mess of
No, I think there are layers from the polling unit to the area collation center, to the local government collation center, and to the state collation center. And there's chance for redress. And if he had the authentic results, as he claimed, he could, as REC, he could write an official report. And these days, even if you write internal memo, even if you said you protect the document, you classify it as secret, it will still leak. You were reading police wireless message from when you were reading, so you hardly can find that. So I think with his experience, there's no need to jump because he just came. They were just getting the center ready. I think that attracted.
And he started with a few people.
Yeah. So and he didn't come with the team. There is procedure, and everybody was kind of taken about what's going on here, and that was capable of throwing the state into turmoil. So, and I think people should be very mindful of the way to go about their duty. And yes, you could be passionate about your work, but there is still a procedure to follow. I think he didn't follow the procedure. The manner he came created a lot of suspicion that either something had happened or he had an interest to protect or whatever. And I think he must have been given the right to defend himself internally. And thank God, the courts are there.
He can still go.
He can still go to court and seek for redress. And all the papers he gathered, he was carrying and take them to court.
And when you said that he will have had the opportunity to present his own argument, it now reminds me of what happens, in court, like appeal court and even Supreme Court. You see dissenting judgment that, okay, even 2 or 3, Supreme Court judges agreed on something. One judge will say, this is what I believe in, and then he will now tender it, meaning he has cleared his conscience.
Yeah, exactly. But I love Nigerians. If it comes to soccer, all of us are coaches. So why didn't you use this player for number 9? Why did you use it for number 3? We are all there. You see, law is very technical. There are things you see from just observing, you think that is the right thing to do. But when they look at it critically,
the technical aspect
is different. So because you have the different laws, the law reports, the procedure legislations, the Evidence Act, and all of them, the Penal Code, Criminal Code, and the INEC electoral law, and all this. There are places that the lawyers, they face each other, and then you bring your point, I bring my point. So, and I think you must have the capacity or the ability to bring those key evidences that will help your case. And I think if judges decide to sell their conscience, that's very sad. But I am not holding brief for any person. But when you go to court and you bring, because when the judges are reading, once they start reading, you think that the case is going to the left or going to the right. But when it comes to conclusion, the one key word, and they knock off all the arguments, you spend days to.
All right, thank you, AIG. Now, on a sad note, this young man, Shepiu Bawa, as Assistant Superintendent of Police, he must be a young person, maybe fresh graduate, or he attended the police academy. We don't have all these details. But on a sad note, what will you say that he took his own life? Of course, his father said so, and then the police there. We don't have any evidence. Yeah. We would have loved to get a report from the hospital to say that, yes, he actually killed himself and all.
Yeah,
but
if you have
what is out there.
I think that's what your reporter within that area can unravel. I mean, going into the details, carrying out investigative journalism, as you people call it. But it's a wake-up call to the police management team, the IG and his team.
Look at his picture.
That officer,
yeah, he looks promising.
Very promising, vibrant,
and well kitted.
Yes. So the point I'm making is, may he so rest in peace.
I mean,
you see, the point I'm making is, I think it's a wake-up call for the police management team to take the issue of officer wellness seriously. And that officer wellness has to do with the health of officers, especially mental health. Now, apart from this, officers working extra hours also catch malaria, some hypertension. They work 12 hours, some 24 hours. And so it's very stressful. So the issue of officer welfare is something that every police commissioner and AIG, DIG, and especially the IG, his management team, giving lectures about conducting something like basic CPR to resuscitate an officer. I mean, you're on duty with an officer and he collapses. Will you be able to revive such an officer? So, in most police forces, officer wellness is taken very seriously. And so, when you are the local commander, like you are a DPO or a station officer, or commissioner of police or area commander, and you find the officer having some kind of behavior that
It's
tends
abnormal.
to see that he is under pressure, there's trauma, maybe he's coming from northeast operations and the rest of it. You've had officers take gun, shoot another one, a colleague, and then turn the gun on themselves. All this is encapsulated in officer welfare, and this is what I think the police now should begin to think of, having psychologists work in maybe zonal command offices. So officers given such basic training on officer welfare, and this, I think, should something that they've got to take seriously. You've got to take, are you able to administer first aid? We used to be taught, and I think it's been taught, but you've got to make it that if you are going on duty, an officer is coming down a slum, you should be able to administer that CPR to revive, the officer.
But it appears we are not our brothers' keepers. Maybe, because not yet.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about.
Maybe even his colleagues to say that they have seen some abnormality
exactly
in him before
that's why I say,
this tragedy.
Thank you. That's why I say you've got to bring into the mainstream officer welfare. Officer wellness. It's all part of welfare. Officer wellness, that's what is supposed to happen. And so in a police division, in a police post, and across board, most will have training. And how do you do that? You can invite medical doctors, especially internal physicians or cardiologists, or also psychiatrists. You bring them to give lectures, and then to have some core officers, a kind of train the trainers, and all this will go and cascade the knowledge to their fellow officers, so that around somebody is coming down, somebody is displaying a feature, a characteristic that suggests that something is wrong.
Maybe he's depressed or something.
He's depressed. God bless you. He's depressed, and it happens all the time. It's not just this is.
It's not an exceptional case.
It's not exceptional. So what I'm saying is a clarion call on the police management team, the Nigeria police management team, and other security forces to emphasize officer wellness. It shouldn't be taught at the training colleges or training schools alone or academy alone. It should be mainstreamed across service in the course of service. So once in a while, they carry out simulation. Officers, you conduct it. When you do that, officers become more careful, because what you don't know, you don't know. But once you get to know about it, when you spot somebody doing that, when you see somebody
you will understand that something is wrong.
You're able to spot it and do something about it.
All right.
And I think that's very critical.
Thank you very much, retired AIG Wilson, on this. And we extend our condolences to the family, and we hope that the police will do the needful to unravel the mystery behind this.
Of course, there will be investigation.
Yes.
Because once you have suicide,
you must investigate.
Or you must investigate.
All right, viewers, that is it. Our topic of discussion today: the stalemate in police force over retirement, and we have the right person in the studio, retired AIG Wilson Inalegwu. I want to start with this question. Did you push back when it was about time for you to retire?
You see, I don't have to push back, because when you work, the police job is stressful. In my own case, I turned 60, and I left my station dressed in my uniform, and I went to Force Headquarters, went to the IG's office, and I saluted. Thank you, sir. This is my last day at work. And when I went home, I don't know where I kept that uniform. I'm done. I was done.
You have moved on.
Oh, yeah, very happily.
What did you do? Because I think one of the reasons why people are scared about retirement is fear of the unknown. Okay, I'm out of work. What will happen to me tomorrow? Maybe you kept a lot of money somewhere.
Yeah. You see, I don't think it's fear of it's not fear of the unknown, because we already know the unknown. Because you don't have money, you don't have money. Because when I retired, I didn't have anything. Nothing at all. And where will I have, how much? What
And you keep smiling. What is the secret? Whenever we invite you here, you smiling on the street. When you meet, you smile.
You see. Well, I don't think it's fear of the unknown, because the so-called unknown is already known. Because
on the first day you join, you know that you must leave the job.
Oh yes, because the police is very. There is something the force does that I like. We have this personnel list that is published every month.
Every month?
Every month. It's a booklet. It could be online from the computer section, the ICT section. So the date you join, the date you are going to retire is clearly
spelled out.
Yes. So the day you join, you enlist, or you are appointed into the Nigerian police force, you know the date you are leaving. So it's not something that. So for many years, I knew when I would leave. I'm just praying that, God, let me reach a certain rank before I go. But it's nothing. So it's not about having. It's not even about having money. Even if you have money, fill this studio, assuming it is dollars. If you retire, it won't take you 6 months, 1 year. You are back to square one. Especially when the retirement benefit is so terrible. If you want to retire, the commissioner of police, I think 82,000 might be
82,000.
82,000
commissioner.
Pension. Yes.
After retirement.
Pension. Yes, pension.
What about AIG maybe?
AIG. Well, that may be slightly different. So what I'm trying to say 82,000. You have ASP might be 35,000.
After someone retires.
Yes. So there is that fear. There is that palpable fear. The police is underfunded, unrecognized, disparate, and the police is one of the most effective and efficient institutions Nigeria has.
Somebody said we should imagine if they are to go on strike for 1 day.
Yes.
To just go off the streets.
The job the police does is so much. If you miss your way, you see a police officer, you ask him. If there is fire in your house, you call the police. If somebody is drunk on the street and he falls into the gutter, the police will take him to the hospital. The police does the work of a pastor, the work of a doctor, the work of a fire, the work of military, the work of a builder. The police does everything happily. But how many police officers die in the line of duty?
And that is why I want to ask this question now. The psychological impact of leaving the job.
So ordinarily, you've got to be resilient. And a lot of police officers have that resilience, that when you retire, and I tell them a lot that situation is, the country, the economy is biting very hard. And our salary, this police salary is so poor. I think payment of salary in Nigeria is so poor. I am telling you that other countries on the West Coast, if you are a police officer, military, what do you call it?
Civil defense,
correctional, everything. They pay your salary every month, 1 bag of rice and groundnut oil. That is not related to your
salary. They give you that as incentive.
These are countries that are poorer than Nigeria.
Are they in Africa or
West Africa, West Coast?
They do this.
Oh yes, I was there. I don't want to mention. So, and you end of the month, they begin to share rice, they begin to share oil, and then your salary. People are living in Kefi. People are living in Korudu. They are going to First Airport Annex. People are living in Suleja. How much fuel are they going to buy? Nigeria is not paying salary. There is no reason why a police officer, either a constable, should earn anything less than $300,000 to $500,000 a month. We are talking about $300. That is nothing. You cannot pay a police officer minimum wage of $100,000. That's insignificant, inconsequential. It cannot do anything. So I am telling you that I don't know why Nigeria finds it difficult to pay salaries.
Okay.
They are not paying. And come to think of it, when I left secondary school, my salary was 110 naira on a clerical officer.
Before you joined the police?
Yes, that was before I even went to I got admission to university. I was 79. My salary was 110 naira. I was paying union due 2 naira. I was paying transport to college 4 naira. I was saving 50 naira at National Bank Otukpo every month from my 110. And the yams and semovit I buy, I was buying a crate of egg for 80 kobo. So you cannot be paying somebody 100,000.
So is there a nexus? Is there a nexus between what you are saying and then the fixation, of some officers not to leave?
No.
Why? Because the crisis we are having now, some critics, they are querying the Police Service Commission to retire some officers while the tenure of the IGP, which has expired, has been extended. Why do you think we're having?
You see, ours is a disciplined force. The public service is very clear. The Pension Act is very clear. If you turn 60, I turned 60, I still had 2 years to complete 35.
But you left?
Yes, I turned 60 before I completed 35. It is very clear. But I think the government, the way I talked about procedure or process in the case of Ari, and I think on the part of government, I think government is guilty of process and procedure. And why do I say that? If you come to think about it, this Inspector General of Police is almost a year plus. Even before, part of what you need to do, you can say, look, you need an Inspector General of Police to stay for 4 years. Nobody is going to quarrel with that.
If you set the ground
and then
rule.
you set the necessary law so that he can make his short-term plan, mid-term plan, and long-term plan, which he can implement within 4 years. That's not a problem. But a guy has 3 months. Everybody is waiting. I am an AIG. I am DIG. I am saying, I am already lobbying my members of the National Assembly from my geopolitical zone. Say, I want to be IG. And 3 months? Well, I'm making a law? It creates a kind of suspicion in the mind of people. But for those who have completed 60 years and 35 years, they just have to leave. I don't think there is no quarrel between the Police Service Commission and the IG. There is one family. Police Service Commission, Ministry of Police Affairs, what do you call it? The Nigeria Police Force,
yes.
National Security, Office of National Security, all of them is a family. There is no quarrel. All I am saying.
But it's like there is fire on the mountain.
I think that's press. The press is just hyping it. Everybody. I've just told you. Yes. No, I've just told because when all our, let me say our, as if I'm still a policeman.
Yes, you are. Once in force, always.
When I say when I'm saying because there is just no contestation about it. If you are 35, you know what I love about this 35? You can mago 60. They born you in 1959. You say you are born in 1969. Maybe you have a baby face. They allow you to stay. But 35 is in the record. If you alter it, they will know because you
you cannot escape.
No, you can't. So I think people should just be mentally prepared. And I think just like you have the military sending people to Oshodi to prepare them, maybe 6 months, 3 months, because it's not easy. You carry your swagger cane and you go to the office. I mean, the interesting is that even when people, when it is a day for them to leave, people never get to know that they are leaving the following day.
So can we say the politicians, maybe let's say the presidency and then the National Assembly, they don't help matters? Because I have it here, Ebetoku is supposed to exit the force September 4, 2024, when he clocked 60 years of age.
Yes.
But he was given 4 years extension.
I think I addressed it. I said, look, if you want to extend They did it for teachers, 65.
Recently for doctors.
Recently for doctors, what do you call it? For judges, I think from 65 to 70. Do it. But let it not look that you have your special song.
And this is what people are saying. They said when Tinubu was actually governor of Lagos State, Tinubu was there as one of his aides.
Everybody will have his favorite. You understand?
And it's not wrong.
Yeah, no.
But you shouldn't give undue advantage to that.
What we are saying is the police and government, for that matter, must be seen to be transparently neutral, honest, that they have no favorites. Every Nigerian is the son of the leaders or the daughters of the leaders. You understand?
Yeah.
So any action you are taking, you've got to be mindful of public reaction. But they can make law, make police age. As you see me, don't you think I can still serve another 5 years in the police if I'm allowed?
That is it.
It means people could retire at 65, but let it favor every person, so that when you do that, it will not be seen that you are doing it for a particular person, because the way the police training is, a well-trained police officer, because when you are taking your oath of allegiance, the oath of service, even if your father commits offense and the police is reported, you will arrest. If it is your mother, you will arrest. If it is your brother, your uncle, your in-law, and every person. So you are not bending to the left or bending to the right. You are blind to any other relationship. But the law is there to guide you. But why are you having issues?
AIG, especially Police Service Commission and the IGP, not just this IGP. If you look at it, you've been there for a very long time.
We have been long with the military. The military rule took a lot. And under the military...
Every other person blames the military.
No, I'm not blaming. What I'm trying to say is that...
The mentality.
No, under the military, the Police Service Commission, Constitution was suspended. And then you don't have Police Service Commission. And it was possible for the IG to be all and all.
Yes.
But the law has greatly reduced... The IG is the operational head. But then you still have the Police Service Commission that has the power to hire from constable to DIG. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Promotion. The Constitution says the Police Service Commission shall promote and appoint persons to Office of Commissioner of Police for states. So the IG, who is the operational head, will look at the competencies of his officers and make recommendations to the Police Service Commission. The Police Service Commission represents the broad spectrum of Nigerians. And that is why we have the judiciary represented by a retired justice of the Supreme Court. You have civil society organizations. You have the police itself. You have labor. You have market women. Every National Council of Women's Societies represented. So the Police Service Commission is like the Nigerian public.
But then it is still being looked at with disdain in a way. I'm sorry to use this word. And some officers are beginning to feel as if the Police Service Commission is also like a toothless bulldog of sorts. It doesn't have the stick to wield.
No.
And
I say the Police Service Commission, the Nigeria Police Force, the Office of National Security, the Minister of Police Affairs, they are just one. What do they want? What is the duty of government? The security people and welfare of citizens. They don't have any other mandate. It's to ensure that people live in peace, they are well protected, their property protected. That's all they are. So they don't have a different agenda. But the agenda aligns with each other. It's one family.
But are you not worried? Are you not worried that some officers are beginning to feel abandoned by both the police force and the Police Service Commission? For instance, I have 3 names here, or 2 names. Chief Superintendent of Police, Egon, and then Edwin Okoro, and 3 others. They have they claim that the Police Service Commission relied on a controversial circular to calculate their years of service from their initial date of entry into the police force rather than from when they entered the police academy. They went to industrial court now. seeking for justice, seeking for redress from industrial court, instead of maybe going to the office of the IGP or going to the Police Service Commission. After all, in fact, they dragged the Police Service Commission.
That is the beauty of democracy.
You think there is nothing wrong there?
The police is a civil organization. Police is not military. Police is just civil. Forget that we carry gun. Police is civil, and that is why it's subject to civil authority. That's why you have the minister. That's why you have the Police Service Commission. That's why the president can give the lawful directive to them. It's a civilian. So what you see play out is people, we are in an era of politicking, and people always want to read meaning. The chairman Police Service Commission and other members of the Police Service Commission hold the IG in high esteem, and the IG, because they are his senior, holds them in high esteem. IG is not going to quarrel with them, but in matters of procedure. Now, if you join the police, I joined as a cadet assistant superintendent of police.
Yes.
Now, I ran through. But if I am a sergeant, if I join as a constable, I'm promoted corporal, sergeant, maybe sergeant major is not there again, inspector. Now, if I am a sergeant, I have first numeral. You see the 6 digits.
Yes. On
the chest. I hope you understand. But if I become an inspector, I have upper number.
Okay.
That is different.
So the numbering differs between somebody who starts as constable and somebody who starts as inspector.
But then, since it is having in the same form, I'm not a lawyer.
Yes.
I mean, they've gone to court. I'm not a lawyer.
And we don't want to go deep into the technical aspect, but we are just talking about the back and forth.
But the truth is that even if you join the police 2 days ago and you turn 60 today, you must retire.
That is
as at today. If you joined last year, you were 59, and this year you become 60. You've got to go.
No two way about.
No, I don't. I have never seen. I don't know, because during our own time, you will be the one to write, because if you don't write, they will reduce all the salary they have been paying you.
Now is it for political expediency, or why do you think? Because this also happens in the military. You see. When maybe a lower-ranking officer, I'm not saying constable or whatever, if he's promoted to become maybe chief of army staff, for instance, or chief of defense staff, you see all his contemporaries and those ahead of him, many people will be wiped out. Why are politicians doing this? Is it that we don't have people in every set eminently qualified to now take over from those who are supposed to move out?
You see, let me take you. There are people who are very eminently qualified, but I think the government may do something, if you ask me. Let me say something. If you want to make a law, and the tenure of Inspector General of Police should be 4 years.
Okay.
So that he has time.
Even if he is 59 when he
even if
he's appointed as IGP.
Yeah, you can make a law, because you can now make that law. I said, but in the process of hiring, of recruitment, let it be a bit transparent that we have 10 officers. They've gone to take an exam to be IG. Just give that impression. I hope you understand. Or, you see, you have 3. Let people see that the selection is based on certain parameters. Oh, this one did, this one that, and all that. Or, in the process, you can come and say, look, you make the law. Maybe this government, if they are lucky, they can stay for 8 years, you understand? So, there's no hurry in it. You can make that law and make this selection a little bit kind of, give an impression. So
that there will be a kind of...
people know that it's not just because you've become commissioner, AIG, DIG, you have some little sweat.
Right.
You display knowledge. So, just to carry people along. But the president, who is the chairman of the police council, on the advice of members of the police, I think the governors and all of them. I got a phone call after 6 this evening to come to the studio. I didn't have time to go through relevant laws. That's why I'm
Which
just
is okay,
talking.
and we don't even want to go into technicalities. Yes, AIG, because we are about to round up, we have like 10 minutes.
All right,
we would like to open the telephone line. Maybe 1 or 2 people will be lucky to call and ask you a question or to comment on this drama. Yes. Viewers, over to you now. Use the telephone line displayed on your screen to call and comment on this stalemate of sort in the police force over retirement of officers. Go straight to the point, we don't have time, and then ask question or comment on this situation. Over to you. Yes, now, already we have a caller.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, welcome to the program, Shamaki. Yes. Hello? Hello? Hello, Shamaki? Yes. Maybe we lost Shamaki. He will try. He always calls.
All right.
Yes, he's actually an added follower of this program. So if you want to advise now, to say, okay, so that we will be having problems. And some officers are alleging that this recent development of allowing some people to extend their tenure is demotivating them because it means no room created for them to be promoted. Could that be true?
No, well, ordinarily, I just made allusion to that. I said, maybe some people, AIG, DIG are expecting that, I'm going to be the next IG. They're already lobbying. I mean,
or if a certain commissioner moves to become AIG, I will also become
But there are a lot of turnover. The IG is just one person. So that is, of course, even though it's one, somebody may say, look, it's my turn. But the important thing is this. What needs to be done if the law is to be amended, either the Constitution or the Police Act 2020 as amended, the government has the power. The National Assembly is there to make laws.
The same National Assembly that within a very short time.
They can do it, but let it be thrown open. Let people make contributions. Transparency. But look, what is important is for all the officers to close ranks with the Inspector General of Police, work with him to deliver effective policing service to the Nigerian people.
Now, talking about effective policing service, it looks like an irony. We're talking about some people must retire and all that. In a country where we don't even have the right numbers. Recruitment has become a serious problem. Since time of Buhari, he said 10,000 every year for certain time. Up to now, I think after we do 2 sets, we are unable, and it all revolves around the misunderstanding between, you don't want me to use this word, but misunderstanding between the IGP and the police service. But before you answer, let me take this call. Yes, hello, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening, Hamza Idris.
Yes, you are back, Shamaki. You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Wilson, good evening, the retired IG.
Good evening.
AIG, retired AIG.
An AIG is also an IG. The law says an IG includes an AIG, DIG, and IG. So if it comes to IG, it's right.
Most IG means I speak from the AIG rank.
It's like director, is assistant director, deputy director, director.
Yes, we are with you, Shamaki. Yes, what do you have to say?
The stalemate is a situation of conflict between the two parties.
Who are the parties in your estimation?
Yeah, on the issue of police force saga between the IG and other officers. If IG tenure will be extended by Mr. President, certainly those officers need to be considered too.
That is your advice?
Yeah, that is my own opinion, because if the police service are emphasizing on that, IG is supposed to be retired too. If IG will not be retired and his tenure has been extended, they have to consider them too, so that they should balance the equation. That is where
you're talking about fairness.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fairness on the whole matter.
All right. Thank you.
So thank you very much.
What will you tell? What will you tell Shamaki?
Shamaki. Well, Shamaki to some extent is right, but when you are at the checkpoint, you cannot. Can you stop all vehicles?
It's not possible.
It's not
you just use your intuition maybe to say, okay, this one is a suspect.
Exactly.
Let me
so
try.
You cannot say because the IG, the president has his reason for extending the IG's tenure. But the IG also has a power, even when you have retired within 2 years, to call you back and
he
give
can
you
do that?
assignment. Yes, and give you assignment.
So maybe,
You know, I told
maybe
you that
this status quo that he said.
I told you that I didn't quite have the time, but you called me after 6
Yes.
to start coming to the studio. I didn't have time to look at.
All right, we have another caller, AIG.
Yeah.
Yes, hello?
Hello.
Yes, who is on the line? Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I am Muhammad Kadir calling you from Jam.
From Kefi, Nasarawa State. Okay, reduce the volume of your TV set and then increase your voice so that we can hear you. And please summarize what you want to say.
Muhammad Kadir calling you from Jam.
Yes, I got that.
Yes, sir. You see, sir, to me, please, is the president to be blamed on this particular controversy? Because this one that that Nigerians have problem with the way and manner election is conducted in this country. And Mr. President is his first tenure now. And he's bringing new innovation in the Nigerian police. And people are suspecting him of being Yoruba, and that guy is also Yoruba. So what would he do? Bring something like this that will lead to issue. That people will begin to suspect him of being like, they will send to the election through that particular person. There are many other people that can work with. There are many Yorubas.
Okay, Mohammed Kabir, if I understand, you are questioning the timing and then also the fact that there are other eminently qualified people who can do the work without creating this confusion, right? That is it.
No, I think what he's saying is that people should forget about this having perceptions or misconceptions, even misconstruing everything to be either sectional or tribal. That the president has used his discretion. He knows why.
So we should always give them that benefit.
Yeah, but because when you are a leader, what you see, the others may not see it. And I think we should, the Nigerian people, public, should give him the benefit of doubt. I think what is important, and I think is about Nigerians engaging with their police, to cooperating with them, giving them that necessary support that will make them succeed. And so, because the system is there. I mean, if you follow the police force orders, force administrative instructions, and all the procedural laws and all that, you are able to do your work very well. And then having that confidence of the public is very critical. And I think it's for all, like he said, forget about whether it is tribal or religious or anything, so that our unity in diversity.
We coalesce into your force.
Yeah,
but beyond being a comrade, this camaraderie is always there in the police, in the military, all these services. I want you to say a word or two to both the Police Service Commission and the Office of the IG on how they can actually get it right.
I think enough of washing our dirty linens in the public domain. And I think that should be a way. I think they should have a way of meeting, and I think they meet ever quarterly to iron out some rough edges. Because if the two work together, and they work together, this is the first time this Police Service Commission, since they came, that we are hearing, and I think it's the press, as usual, blowing it. But I think the DIG, who is the Chairman's Police Service Commission, and all of them, they are fantastic fellows. And Egbetokum, Taiwo Lakanu, the member, the DIG, there is my classmate, fantastic guy. These are not guys.
So you believe they will get it right?
Oh no, these are guys that love the police with a passion.
Thank you very much.
And the IG too. So that shouldn't be any problem.
All right. Thank you very much, retired AIG Wilson Inalegwu, and we thank you for coming to the program.
Pleasure.
Of course, here in the media, we try to probe, we try to, make people accountable to their action. That is why we are fixated with this matter.
You are doing a great job.
Thank you very much. We hope to have you some other time.
Thank you so much.
And yours, that's a wrap on today's package for Sunday Politics on Trust TV. We hope you join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of Daily Politics on Trust TV. Bye bye for now. I am Hamza Idris.